Freddie Mercury and the other legends of Queen, Brian May, Roger Taylor, not you, John Deacon, you fucking piece of shit. You can't do this. Pish posh, darling, I'm Freddie Mercury with the other legends of Queen, Brian May and Roger Taylor, not John Deacon. We can do whatever we want. Oh my god, it was a great success! Freddie Mercury, Brian May and Roger Taylor, not you, John Deacon, you fucking piece of shit! How did you do this? That's right, because I'm Freddie Mercury and we are Queen, and you're my best friend in the entire universe, Brian May. Bryan Singer escapes prison once again as he returns to the big screen with the numb, boring and overall chore of a film Bohemian Rhapsody, which details the fictional life and times of Freddie Mercury and the other legends of Queen. I saw this film a few days ago, and I'm not typically one to use hyperbole on this channel, but I'm not lying when I say this might be one of the worst films I've ever seen. Coupled with cliches, stereotypes, and a severe lack of self-awareness, Bohemian Rhapsody literally feels like a movie from 10 years ago.
Hello, I like money.
Now, I don't think I would hate this movie as much if it was about any other band. You see, Queen is not every other band that has a musical biopic. Queen is Queen. You know, they're beyond that. And while I don't consider myself a Queen guru or a connoisseur of any sense, you know, I like their iconic songs, don't get me wrong. Bohemian Rhapsody is a fantastic song. But I am fascinated by them, and more specifically, I am genuinely obsessed with Freddie Mercury. His life story is amazing, to say the least, you know? I was reading the Wikipedia for Freddie Mercury, and I was thinking, like, there are at least 3 fantastic movies here. You know, he has such an intense and amazing life. It's hard to even see Freddie Mercury as human, you know? He's achieved a level of fame that is so profound, so godlike. It's almost impossible to see him as an actual human being. You know, before I saw this movie, I distinctly remember this one interview Freddie Mercury gave where he specifically stated the following about, you know, his life story and whatever. You can do whatever you like with my image, my music. Remix it, re-release it, whatever. Just never make me boring. Now, this quote stuck with me ever since I first read it. The entire time I was watching Bohemian Rhapsody, I kept reflecting and thinking on this quote. Did this movie make Freddie Mercury boring? But even worse, it made him forgettable. Immediately after I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, I went back and watched Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, starring John C. Reilly. Now, this movie goes out of its way to ridicule and parody musical biopics and the mundaneness of every single one of them. I was amazed at how similar Walk Hard and Bohemian Rhapsody were. These are movies that are released 10 years apart and they are fundamentally identical. If you think I'm joking, I wrote an entire list of things that happen in Walk Hard and also happen in Bohemian Rhapsody, and here that list is right now. In both films, the father figures are disappointed in their sons. The reasons why are never really explained, or when they are, they're pretty ridiculous.
He cut him in half with a machete.
Everyone always says you can't do anything, and then the character actually does it.
These words, no one will play Queen.
They literally say the title of the lead song and film multiple times, just in case the stupid audience is too stupid to understand.
I will walk hard. Walk hard.
In Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie hops on stage and the crowd initially rejects him. They make fun of his teeth, they make fun of what he's wearing. They're not very happy to see him. Then he starts singing and the crowd immediately loves him. Like, they are obsessed with him. And I am not joking when I say this, but this literally happens beat for fucking beat in Walk Hard.
This first song we're fitting to do is, well, it's about, it's about when your woman catches you. You got to love your Negro man. You got to love your Negro man. Ooh, you got to love your Negro man.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I could not believe what I was seeing. I thought I was being tricked. Like, I thought Bryan Singer was playing a practical joke on me. I thought he was like, hey, fuckwit, I'm memeing you. But he wasn't. He wasn't memeing me at all. You know, I think the world is going to be memeing him when he's in prison very, very soon. The movies expect you to care about the rest of the band and their friendship, despite the fact that it is never explored. When the lead gets into more drugs, the band becomes distant. The main affair with Paul in Bohemian Rhapsody and Darlene in Work Hard.
Together, perfect harmony we found.
After failing, the lead characters go back to their old band, apologise, and become a band once again, performing a fantastic final set in front of a sold-out crowd. I cannot stress how much this sort of laziness annoys me, because Freddie Mercury, without an argument to be made, is probably the greatest lead man of all time. He is amazing. When you saw him on stage, the way he'd move, the way he wouldn't move, the way he would sing, the way he did anything, you know, the stage was his and he owned it. He fucking owned it. But underneath that, he was a super complex person. He had a lot of things going on. And the movie explores that in such a poor way. This is not the true story of Queen. This is the story the remaining members of Queen actually want you to hear, because it makes themselves look a lot better than they probably looked in the actual true story.
And what happened over the years, because it was suggested to us a lot, what happened over the years was that we realised if we didn't get involved, then somebody else would do it, and then you wouldn't be able to protect Freddie's kind of legacy and...
Hello, I like money.
At least when ABBA did this, they made Mamma Mia and licensed the songs out and let the filmmakers actually come up with an interesting and unique story that made audiences actually give a fuck about the characters. It's not a super obvious commercial. This movie has no intention of being more than a commercial for Queen records. So I bullied Bryan Singer quite a bit in this review essay already, and I have no intention of stopping because the man is literally a pedophile. This movie has some of the most bland filmmaking I've ever seen. Every conversation literally goes like this. It goes close-up of one character, close-up of the other character, wide shot, close-up of character, close-up of other character, wide shot. It's infuriating. It's the exact same shot list, just over and over and over again, and there is no creativity to anything. And it's the most corporate film about the most uncorporate band of all time. It's so ironic that the Queen movie is so bland. I can't keep, stressing that. It's pure irony. The way this movie changes history is really, really strange. The decision to change major events is even stranger when you realise that the remaining members of Queen are creative producers on the project.
Okay, well, what happens in the middle of the movie? Because, Freddie dies.
And there is a reason why, and it is because they want to protect themselves. They want to protect Queen as a brand, not Queen as a band. One of the remaining members of Queen who is alive is John Deacon, and he had no input into this movie at all, which is why in the film he's portrayed as like a pathetic loser that no one really needs. He just sort of does nothing in the movie. His character has the least amount of screen time, and it's very telling. The worst example of changing history is when Freddie leaves the band in the film to focus on a solo career, which happened in real life, but he never left the band. He did the solo stuff, but he still worked on Queen music, which is so weird that they would change that. So after he leaves, Freddie's solo career bombs, and he wants to bring the band back together, and he wants to take part in the Live Aid performance, the iconic Queen Live Aid performance. Basically, he meets up with the band, and he's forced to apologise, which is so funny to me that Brian May and Roger Taylor agreed that, yes, this happened. Freddie apologised to us for being a dick. Freddie Mercury apologised to us, the creative producers of this film, Brian May and Roger Taylor. I'm aware that AIDS was a fundamental factor of Freddie's life. It literally killed him. And if you're going to explore that, explore it right. You don't just throw it in the movie at a random time and then expect the audience to actually care about it. That is something that Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to focus on in his movie. He really wanted to explore Freddy's personal life and how he died. And Brian May and Roger Taylor didn't want him to make that movie because that didn't protect the Queen brand. You know, when Freddy's a dick in this movie, essentially Brian May and Roger Taylor agreed that yes, that happened. That is how he was. He was a dick to us. Which is very, very weird. When you portray Freddie Mercury, a man who is not alive, a man who had no creative input into this film, as the villain of the film, that's kind of pathetic. I think when you make a Freddie Mercury movie, or when you make the Freddie Mercury movie, which is this film here, to make it a by-the-numbers, super safe, super commercial film goes against what Queen really was, in my opinion at least. In this movie, they go on about how Queen is made for the outcasts, for the people at the back of the room. But if you look at the audiences that they're attracting to see this movie, it's not the people at the back of the room. It's the people at the front of the room. Normal people. You know what I mean? And it's weird that the Queen movie has become sanitized in a way to be the most commercial version of itself it can be. And I hate that. I believe that Freddie Mercury deserves something that is a bit more unique and interesting than this boring, bland, copycat rip-off of Walk Hard that is Bohemian Rhapsody. I will be back with a newer video very, very soon. The next video will be on a little TV show by the name of Riverdale. So, I can't believe I'm doing a video on Riverdale. Be sure to wait for that. Subscribe, you know, like whatever you want to do. Share this review around, I guess, because what I said is important. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very, 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 very soon. Bye-bye.